Good morning. Oh my God. Like, I recorded something. I don't even know what it was, but I recorded something. I still got this mess, but it's getting better. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm just coming on here this morning to say hello. And also, people be like, where did she come from? Like, where's she from? Like, what? Who is she? Da 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 da. Right? I've been around. I just don't really go nowhere. I used to go somewhere all the time, every day. Had like a little agenda and plan, whatever, every day, you know. But when life changes, you change, you know. And, people went on a rampage just wanting to attack me for my future. And you know what's crazy? Think about it. Think about if you were me, right? And you ain't looking to your future. Like you ain't go to nobody that has a crystal ball and or you sat down at their table, they pulled some cards. Like you ain't never done that a day in your life. But other people have done it on you. So much to the fact that they said, oh yeah, we gonna plan all her shit and we gonna fuck her up in the process. And we're gonna fuck her over in the process. And also we're gonna take all her shit, including her dude too. You know, we ain't gonna just take the main one, we're gonna take all of them in between. And listen, that shit sounds so fucked up. But it's true. That's why sometimes when I do record, you might see me like doing all this like, or I'm thinking because I have to also wrap my mind around the bullshit and be able to decipher between the real and the fake, false reality, real reality. It's a constant thing every day, you know. So, what has gotten me to the point where I am now is big part, a level of disgust. It's like, who the fuck takes this type of time out of their life, their day, their existence to do this type of shit on a consistent basis? And how are you still sane? So, also, how do you manage to just like keep recruiting people? When I say sometimes I be having a damn headache, like, what the fuck? So when I first started coming on and I would be talking, and sometimes my talk was more angry, and it was like hateful, you know. It was because of the hateful things that was being done to me. And out of the blue, you know, it wasn't like something you prepare yourself for, I guess. Well, nobody prepares themselves to be shot or gunned down, so shit. Okay, so shit like that is always by a surprise to the person, you know. Um, However, once you figure out how to survive and how to dismantle the plan of the enemy, then things start to make some kind of sense. But I will say this: whomever the people are that had strong faith in just doing all this shit, I don't understand how at no point did you realize that you had an entity attached to you. Or you thought you did a very good job at putting all of your entities on me. And for me to be trapped, hurt, scared of those entities. Um, you know what I was mostly afraid of more than anything was the fact that I knew it was some people in my family. You never want to come to terms with that. You never want to face that part of like your reality. Um, Even if an illusion has been casted over you and on you, sometimes you want to keep it there just so you don't see how evil some of your family members are. And you might see it here and there, you might see it all the time, you know, and it does something to you each and every time. Just like it'll do something to you when you know a person lying to your face, but they still do it. You know what I'm saying? And the sadness, it's it hit different. You know, it makes me where even if I wanted to shed some tears, they don't. They just don't want to come out. It just has me in a disappointing phase of existence. So it's more on the lines of, as an illusion is cast and you're under that illusion for a very long time, it's like people don't even see it when you break from the illusion. They don't. Just like they don't see how sad your eyes are. They don't see how much they're getting on your nerves. They're hurting your feelings. They're making you want to throw up. You know, it's like, I don't know if anyone else has been in something that's so toxic that it makes you want to throw up. Like, I don't even have to see anything gross or smell anything gross. It's the type of action. Gosh almighty. And when I say gosh almighty and I don't curse, that's when you know it's serious with me. Because it's nasty. And mm, it's nasty because of the consistency. It's nasty because of the level of hatred. It's nasty because you wonder why. Why your people can't see they fucked up ways. Like how? How can you just keep walking around and doing fucked up shit? It's like they don't see that they in an illusion. So it's the Truman Show, but it's the Truman inside the Truman inside the Truman inside the Truman Show. You know, like the what's the word? Like 6 hours in time. It's like 6 ripples, 6 falsehoods done 6 different ways. You know, and then you have to think. Even when God said, "Hey, you've been here about 20 times, came here a lot," so imagine All the things you left every time you died. All the money you didn't spend before you died. All the property or land or um, all the other planets you visited in between that. And all of the wonderful things that you've never been able to tap into in the celestial realm, but it is yours. Like you are it. You're that it girl or it guy. You have it all, but you don't even have access to it all. And you don't even have access to yourself. Even people wanted that too. Like they wanted to be able to control when I talk, you know, what I feel, what I am. So when your feelings are like scattered amongst multiple realities that are designed to go against you and make you rethink all that you've ever learned, all that you've ever known, and most importantly, rethink who you are. You do pause, you reflect, you try very hard to figure out, like, you know, what's the good gonna come out of this? Like, what is it? What could, what could anyone say to me? Hmm. They don't know what to say. It doesn't matter if it's family, friends, associates, past life connections, people jumping through portals, um, the government. Doesn't matter. They don't know what to say. So it's like my personal thought process on everything. It's not like people truly attack me for just the money, just the recognition, you know, just the accolades or any of that. Most of the reason why people attack me because None of them know how to tell me the truth. Hmm. None of them know how to explain their truth. It's like, just give me a turn at her position. Give me a turn at being her. Give me the opportunity to fall in line with what she got going on. And I mean, I understand that. You know, when Mother and Father God set me down, gosh, I'll never forget what she said. As Father God was talking to me, and he said, listen, you're my daughter. And I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that I love you. But there's a lot of things you don't know. There's a lot of things that will hurt you. There's a lot of people that want to hurt you. They've been trying all your life. And when Mother God, when she came in, she said, listen, I need for you to sit down, you know? And I'll never forget it. I said, I'm already sitting down, like I'm on my bed, you know, give it to me straight. And she said, no, I need for you to sit your spirit down. Do you know how to do that? I want you to ask yourself that. Do you know how to calm your spirit? Put your spirit back in its proper place and calm it down. It's a different, humbling effect that the only way it could be explained is if you feel it. So guess what? That's why I was so angry. That's why I was so upset. I was so upset because of what people were doing it over and why people were doing it. And they had no idea how it felt. No idea of like the outcome of what they were putting out there on me, and they didn't care. who was around me. They didn't care about the innocence of anything. Okay? So imagine you find Mother and Father God and they decide to enlighten you and they talk to you. And as they do that, they tell you who you are to them. Automatically, I knew I was a God. Automatically, I knew I was of importance. Automatically, I knew that there was going to be changes. I knew it needed to be changes. I knew I was going to be the one to change it, whether I liked it or not. So my emotions had only came into play a few times. Because I had to look past whatever type of family member you are to me. I had to look at your soul and your spirit. And I'm going to tell you, and you ain't going to like it, but a lot of times I was already right about y'all spirit and soul. I could tell it was just dirty, nasty. No matter how you decided you wanted to look on the outside, it was so obvious what your insides looked like. But when you have to constantly play the game of life, it ain't always about telling people about themselves. It's about those people figuring themselves out. And the only way they do that is when they sit with themselves, when they forced to look at themselves, when they are faced with the same adversity that they want to put out for somebody else. Now, the upsetting thing of it all was, still is, it's not worth taking a person's life for whatever it is that they got. It's not. It's not worth it. It's not worth throwing away your life for what somebody else got. It's just not. And what blew my mind and what still blows my mind is the fact that Everyone did so much to keep me away from that life. Yes, ma'am. You waiting for you got here yet either? Oh no, I'm just waiting on my friend. She working there. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. I guess she waiting on some folk. I'm at this restaurant. Excuse me, but when you have blocked me from being happy, keeping me sad, having love, taking joy, happiness, hope, you know, when you go as far to like want to take my spirit, my soul, my look, and then I would hear y'all in the spirit say shit like shit, just give up on your life, you know, like forfeit that bitch. And the whole time, the entire time, I wasn't living that life that you was stealing from me. Like you were living it. So it reminds me of when you give a person an inch, they take a mile. You're not satisfied with what you already have, what you've already stolen, what you've already put me through. You just want to keep going. It's very beneficial for you to keep going. It gives you this form of like satisfaction, fulfillment, and gratification. Just knowing that you're doing what you're doing to me and you're getting away with it. And you're laughing about it. And you're telling other people, you're bragging about it. And it's like a different type of wow, different type of disgust, a different type of fuck. It's on some shit like, uh, I just wouldn't even want to be like that. Like, I wouldn't want to hate somebody that fucking much. Oh my God. Like, who is living in your body? Like, who's living in your brain? You know? And all the times, I would be on another deathbed or death cycle or death sentence of some kind. The gods would ask me. Better yet, not ask. They would tell me, like, hey, you don't have to keep going through this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to tap out, we understand. You can come on back up here with us and chill, blah, 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 blah. And my answer will always be nope. I don't give a fuck if I pass out. I don't give a fuck if I hit my head. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Nope. Y'all keep telling me it ain't my time yet. Y'all keep telling me that I got room enough to bow out gracefully. I said, damn, that's two things. Two things of something. So when God says it's not your time yet, that means you do have a mission. That means you haven't fulfilled that mission. That means that mission is somewhere in your future. Then, when the gods say, yo, you ain't got to deal with this shit. You ain't got to worry about it. Just come back up here, chill with us. Even to the gods, your evil is that nasty. Even to the gods. Like, they're fucking gods. Like, on other planets and shit, other realms, other portals. They're even in this atmosphere. Like, they are like, what in the fuck? And all they were waiting on me to do was call their name, call out to them so I could take my position and become who I'm supposed to be. But I didn't know I was supposed to call out. You know what I'm saying? And then when I thought I called out, somebody would catch that shit and toss that shit, and God wouldn't hear it. Because they was in my energy, you know? In my energy that much. Intercepting everything. So even the many times that the gods would be like, yo, nah. You know why I kept saying no? I wanted to see my enemies with an S, family or not. I felt like at least I deserved that. They ain't even want me to be able to do that. Like, the diabolical, crazy. And I'm just speaking at this moment. I want everyone to put themselves in my shoes as I say this. Just try it out. Try it. Okay? Like every time you got good people around you, and then somebody come and poison them people's mind on purpose. Every time you got love around you, you got somebody turning it into hate. Every time you get a job, you got somebody getting you fired. Every time you get a car, you got that same somebody fucking up your shit. Every time you heal, you got somebody doing something else to put you back in an unhealed state. Every time you take one step forward, you got a person doing something to make you take 5 steps back. Every time you get some money, they steal it. They turn your family against you. At least the family that's close to you anyway. Friends, there you go. And fuck all your men. All your men. To the point where they want to wear your skin. To the point where they want to be in your body. To the point that they want to do the most disgusting things to you in your while you're in your body and while they're using your body against you. And the same person, same people, getting other people to join to violate your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, your thinking, your way of life. And they've done this several times, over and over and over again. Now think about this. Let's say I was born in 1915. I lived for 30 years. I died 1945. That person was around then. They were around then. Then let's say I'm reborn again in 1946. That person was still doing work on my spirit, on my soul, in the ethers. And then when I got a body and I'm in my mother's womb, they're still doing things to my body, to my mind, to my soul, to my spirit as a fetus. And this keeps happening. No matter how many times I've died, no matter how many times I've lived, it kept happening. Every era in time. It keeps happening until you bring in new earth. And guess who's supposed to bring in new earth? The same person that they've been torturing for 6 eras in time. So imagine yourself going through slavery, going through oppression, going through rapes, murders, molestations, robberies. Just imagine your people going through all of this shit. And you have the key right there to fix it all. That could change not only your life, but the world. And you have somebody out there that does not want to see that happen. And no matter how many times you've lived, no matter how many times you've died, you're eradicating this energy. You're demolishing this energy. You are canceling this energy out. Like you are defeating certain parts of it around the world. And you get to the part where the air, you get to the part where it's going to be gone for good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't happening no more. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to see if I can word this in a way to where everybody, I don't care if it's a kid, that they get this. Mother and Father God, those two became one. They produced a child, a God child, right? These God kids are able to rule the start of the Genesis 36,000 years, right? Let's say maybe I live 9,000 years or 10,000 years and I got whacked off. You know, kaput. Out of 36,000 years, I still 20,000 years to fuck around with. You know what I'm saying? So I come back, born again. You know, this time I might live 5,000 years. Still got 15. Take that concept. As new life is born, the gods are reduced in timing. They are not reduced as a god, but the timing is reduced. When we go through that 36,000 year cycle, all the way down to 3,600 year cycle. And the reason why we're at the 3,600 year cycle is because of the evil. Like the evil is so bad that the maximum amount of time you're supposed to live is like, excuse me, 120 years. Now I really want y'all to think the evil is 10 times as worse than that because we are not living until 120 years. You might have 1%, maybe, living until 120. Everybody's dying between 20 years old and 70 because the devil understood I need time. I need time. I kill him, I get time. Did you hear what I just said? I kill him, I get time. If you kill somebody, yeah, you get time in jail, in prison. The devil kills somebody, the devil get time to live. He gets more time. He gets more life because the devil is taking our lives. Like you work and the work that you put out extends your life and you keep getting lives because of the work you do here, the lives you've saved here, the uh, um, the goodwill in all forms, your creations of all forms provides you with extra life. But guess what? It only provides you with extra life when you can figure the devil out, when you know who you are, and when you understand the concept of time. And when you start looking at things as a God, not as a human. The devil don't care about humans. But the devil does care about God. Because that's the only person the devil can't be. Because no matter the chain of events, the devil still has to listen to God. But the devil can trick us people and having us think that we're no good. We're not supposed to be here. We don't deserve to live long. We don't deserve to have whatever we're supposed to have. And I'm sure what I'm saying out my mouth right now sounds so familiar to all my enemies. Because those were the things you said. So I'm making sure I let all my enemies know, including the world, that if you have somebody or people that talk like that to you, you need to let them go. Because they have a devil attached to them. And unfortunately, but fortunately, the unfortunate part is maybe they know, maybe they don't know. And fortunate part is either way the devil can play on your top because of all the information that has been removed from us knowing anything about anything, anywhere, including wanting to tap into ourselves, you know? So when people feel like they have a say so over your life, over your death, over your words, over your thoughts, over your desires, over your friendships, over what they feel you deserve. I want you to understand. One of the main demons they done called on, a slave demon. And it's not in the upright position of the word slave. In the upright position of the word slave, it means a job. No. These people, they still operate on that lower vibrational part of that word. Because everything is duality. So that means instead of you working off a debt, or instead of you working for some money, they just get a kick out of seeing you work. Work your fingers to the bone and you get nothing. You know, keep you in lack. Singing some new, yeah, got that shit out real quick. Excuse me. Got you singing some new Negro spirituals because they don't feel like you deserve to have anything that's rightfully yours, that's supposed to be yours, that has your name on it, that God has set aside for you, and they know about it. You know, there's a in the book of life. That's where the book of names are. You're in it. Even if you don't see your name exactly how your name is today, you're in it. They don't want you to know how much you're in it, how favored you are, how much God respects you, by the way, and loves you. You know, just think the whole time this world has been on repeat, we have been on repeat. Our soul, our spirit has been on repeat. And during that repeat, nobody, nobody has ever decided to challenge the narrative. It always keeps coming up that I am the one that keeps challenging the narrative because I know it's not a narrative. It's a biography. Our lives are real. Our lives have been taken in more ways than one, have been stolen in more ways than one, and have been used in more ways than one. Not to our advantage, not for our best interests, not for our growth or prosperity or our longevity, or for us to even keep our lives. We're the characters in Super Mario Brothers. You know? And, excuse me, I don't know how to scratch my throat. I just cough. But somebody don't want me to get this shit out. But it's cool. I'm getting it out anyway. Because I've awakened and I'm tapped in to the gods, I don't plan on that changing. I'm going to stay tapped in. I don't care who it is, what you got to say, how you feel like you should have a say so, any of that. Because it's that domino effect. Justice will be served across the board. Just like hatred uh, was given across the board, justice is going to be given across the board, no matter what. And even if it was some of our people that jumped ship and went on the other side, I want y'all to understand this. People go with the times instead of going with what's real, what's right, and what's factual. If you are a person and you go with what's real, what's factual, you are ahead of the game. So when all the other races will just talk so much shit about black people, I'm sure you noticed in about 2020, maybe about 2016, that everybody wanted to be black. Everybody wanted to get some big old titties. Everybody wanted to get a big old ass. Everybody wanted to have their nails and stuff and want to do their little neck or whatever. Do you know those people already understand? Judgment is upon them. It ain't just upon them. It's on them. And it's no amount of makeup, weave, silicone titties, or butt injection asses that's gonna get you out of it. You can't blend in order to get in and stay in good with us. Nah. See, I'm making sure to hip everybody to the bullshit, to the games, to the fuckery, to all the dumbass shit. So when somebody wanna come around you and they wanna be all buddy buddy, whatever, right? You know the saying. Was they with you when you were shooting in the gym? What you wanna be friends with me now for? Why you coming around me now? Why you wanna talk to me now? Why you ain't stick it out with me when all that shit was happening? Do you understand? See, in the old world, people hid behind those type of facades. Even though you could see it, you could see the treachery in that person. You could see it on them. But you would let it slide. Let it slide. Truth be told, that's why God wanted me to pull back my protection. That's why God made sure to tell me my protection covered the whole world. That's why God made sure to inform me that we standing behind you, beside you, in front of you at all times. Because we don't want this to continue, period. Nowhere. That shit ain't going to another motherfucking planet. That shit ain't getting out in the motherfucking atmosphere. It ain't gonna be happening to no more gods, no demigods. It ain't gonna be on no etherical realm, nothing. When I say they tired, they real tired. They so tired that I heard one spirit, one of these atrocious demons that somebody brought back from the dead. And it's in quite a few of these people was never supposed to be brought back, ever. Period. But these folk that were doing all this spell work of all these different kinds, they didn't want slavery to end. They didn't care if it was turning to covert slavery. They didn't want the shit to end. And it hurts me. It hurts me in more ways than one that our own people participate, are a part of it, and they do it. You know? Like, you know, excuse me, like you know what happened to Henrietta Lacks. You know what happened to Emmett Till. And shit, y'all motherfuckers starting to know what the fuck happened to me. But your participation in the bullshit is on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? On 1,000. And I'm saying to myself, like, yo, when I go out there and when I do work and I bust my ass and I put in all this motherfucking time, this blood, sweat, and tears and shit, there's motherfuckers like y'all that's taking the shit from me, that's assisting other motherfuckers to take the shit from me. That's like, I need people to really understand this. I need people to really get the visual and see. These are groups of lazy ass motherfuckers that want shit off of hard working motherfuckers. And we always are the hard working motherfuckers that weren't even supposed to be working at all. Because we the gods. So I'm trying to say to folk, you got some good shit up there in them heavens, in them ethers. You better be talking to them gods. You better be asking them ways on how to fix you. Seriously, if you want to have any form of life, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, you couldn't have been no asshole all your fucking life. And if it's a record of any motherfuckers being assholes all their fucking life, God said to some of y'all, you already know what your fate is. But I'm saying to all those folk that you putting in all this work and you ain't seeing no results, and you asking yourself why. You got the same motherfucking devil in your motherfucking family that's doing the same motherfucking shit that they was doing to me. That's some real shit, you know? And they use technology to do it all. Goddamn, you know? And They come back around and be like, hey girl, how you doing? But what I'm trying to get everybody to see, the patterns, the behavior, gosh, the temper tantrums, the lies. You know, when you're a true person, you quickly realize you don't include other people. You just don't. You don't understand the need to include other motherfucking people. You know what I'm saying? Because just like you take your black ass to work or by your motherfucking self, but you think to yourself, that's my motherfucking check. You don't think that I'm just gonna give my check away unless that's something you already want to do. These people, these devils, they just, mm-mm. It's like slave mentality in black people, and but it don't come from black people. It come from everywhere else. You know, you know how they have everyone coming from everywhere else over here, and those people, when they want to get their visa or their green card or anything, they gotta just go along with the fuckery and treat us any kind of way so we can always be looked at as the bullshit and the shit up under somebody fucking feet. Knowing we ain't none of that. We just not. We never been. But they sign those contracts. They take those oaths because they want to be over here. Because they know their countries is fucked up. They know the thought process in their countries is fucked up. But yet, you come over here with your fucked up ass thought process and think you want to apply that shit to us again and again and again and again. Nope. No. I took it back to the beginning because that's what God wanted me to do. I knew that's what God meant when He said, no, when my ancestors said, yo, you're going to be freeing us all the way back to the beginning of motherfucking time. I was like, God damn. All right, what's next? What I need to do? What's next? You know what I'm saying? But it clicked. You know what happens when you go back in the past, right? And bring it back to the future. It erases the past. Only certain people can do that, though. You know that. I'm one of those certain people. And I did that. You know how I did it? I said, just like your wills and testimonies and your estates and your fake Indian certificates and, you know, your children on your railroad trains and your carnivals and circuses and get tickets to a new life, you know, your slavery, you having us in motherfucking cages like goddamn monkeys and shit. All that shit. You know, even the blueprints back from eugenics. You know what I'm saying? All the apparatuses and shit. All of that. Everything. Everything. Along with that, along with just stealing our money, stealing all kinds of shit, you also stole, like, the devil. For sure, for sure. You stole the duality. And you stole reality. There's no more stealing realities. That's what's happening. You're going to live out your actual reality. And whatever your fate is, in your actual reality. Not the reality that you want to close your eyes and pretend that you have. Not the reality that everyone wants to create smoke and mirrors and illusions about. Not the reality that you sit around and you got your little teacup and you're playing with your little Barbie dolls and you want to create, right? No, your real shit. Because I knew, taking it back to the beginning, that means the compounds, the interest of all the spell work, all the books, the words, the rituals, practices, they won't work. This world has gotten this evil because evil was compounded on top, building. That was a foundation also. A foundation of massive negativity. So, if your massive negativity doesn't have life, or no one can breathe life into it, you know, because it's like, who's going to breathe life into something evil when they're seen now? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't hide. So, even if you're wearing all black ski mask and you're tiptoeing, looking left or right, and you're in the dead of night, you can still be seen, bruh. You know what I mean? That shit's a real fucking thing. You know? And then, let's say you got your book at home and you use it, been using it, you know? And you start to wonder, why is it not working? You start trying to figure out, what are you missing? You try to understand where you went wrong. Remember when you had your hand over my eyes in real motherfucking time? That's what's been done to your brain. Period. So it's like you're gonna search, you're not gonna find it. It's empty. Just like how you want in my brain. Empty. Because what's the point of that's what you use your brain for? Like, I want you to really ask yourself, do your kids even know how you get down? What you about? I'm sure they don't. That's why all this shit over. You don't deserve to see nothing glorious. You know what I'm saying? When you own some shit like this.